The year is 2022. Almost 30 years prior to this, the Soviet Union underwent the August coup, where communism over Mother Russia collapsed. However, some Russian citizens miss the glory days of Soviet Union and what they did on the modern world as we know today. Hello everybody, in this video we're going to be trying out The Fire Rises, a quite new mod, but it looks pretty big even in its beta stage. But we're playing as a Russian Federation and we're going to try to revive the Soviet Union. How will we do that? I'm not sure. I guess we're going to have to find out. So, I hope you guys enjoy this video, and enjoy. Now, in the upcoming years, we've got some decisions, events and focuses to do in order to get the communists in charge. We've got some other opposition parties that rival the communists. United Russia, the faction, has got a significant more amount of supporters compared to the communists, so it looks like we've got some work ahead of us. Now, the liberalists are the third most strongest party, so we're going to have to do some decisions to drastically decrease them along with the Russian United Front. Now, we've got this decision, a new government, which doesn't change our leader, but some political advisors. Moving to our focus tree, we're going to start by going down the central path, which has got some paths, but we're going to go down this path of the central path, which decreases fascism support. Now, the year is 2020 and it's most memorable for COVID-19, and COVID-19 has just hit the Russian population. Now, it looks like that some focuses improve the United Russian Front support a little bit, which is inevitable. However, we can decisively choose our focuses and decisions which increase communist support. And these focuses aren't only increasing communist support, they're increasing support for our industry, army, basically everything. So hopefully that will open the Russian people's eyes to see that communism is the only way for all of Mother Russia. I mean, there were some pros and cons about the Soviet Union, but at least the Soviet Union had some good things, unlike the current Russian government, which is absolutely destroying the people of Mother Russia. Now, it appears that Lukashenko is requesting Russian aid, and if we chose the right decision, which we did, we've got Belarus as a puppet. Now we can maneuver over to the left side of our Russian focus tree, and we've got two focuses to choose from. However, I'm going to go down the right focus due to the fact that it decreases Western propaganda and increases communist support, with some focuses down the list. Talking about the West, it looks like that Donald Trump has won the elections. That's not good on the behalf of the United States of America. Now, this focus will get rid of a national debuff, which cracks down on liberalism throughout Russia. And with that, the left side of the focus tree has been completed. Now, the right side, which is the final side of the focus tree, is primarily about the Russian economy. And it looks like that the game wants me to go hardline communist, so decrease the United Russian support, and they're the leading party, so this is going to be absolutely detrimental for them. Now we can look to discover a vaccine. Or actually, instead of making one of our own, we're going to buy one from the Chinese, which increases our communist support. Just in case our economy wasn't bad enough, the death of Wall Street has just happened, and look at that national debuff. Well, it looks like that Trump's presidency didn't go so well. I wonder who will emerge victorious. Well, which side is Putin going to side on? Well, if he's going to side for the communist support, because now the election results have came back, and it's probably clear that the communists have won the Russian election. Now we can wrap up our first Russian focus tree by completing these last two focuses. However, just to know, I didn't complete this focus because it was too long. Why was it too long, you may ask? Well, it appears that Vladimir Putin has just caught COVID-19, and shortly after that, his condition worsened. So, I think it's safe to say that he is not fit to run the Russian Federation, so that focus has been cancelled, and we are brought with a brand new focus tree. Pretty interesting. Now, so to go down the communist side, we've got 3 leaders to choose from. One who is a bit more liberal, one who's hardline, who reverts to the old ways of the Soviet Union, or one in the middle. Now, we're going to revert back to the good old days of communism. Back when Jugashvili, or Joseph Stalin, was leading the Soviet Union. However, we're not going to be so strict, for as our actions have consequences. And now for this decision, we're obviously going to side with the communists. And what does this focus tree have to offer? Well, even though we're already winning the elections by a landslide, we're now going to absolutely dominate our opposition even further from these focuses right here. Well, it would appear that Vladimir Putin has passed away today. This is an unfortunate day for the Russian people and the motherland. But who cares? The communists have just won the Russian election. We've got a new leader and a brand new focus tree. This isn't just a new dawn and a new beginning for the Russian people, but also a new beginning for the accursed world that we live in today. Now, since we're going down the hardline path for the communists, we've got to go down the left side of the central path of the focus tree, which glorifies Stalin a bit, which is alright. However, we've got to deal with the balance of power, which is actually not bad, just because the old guard, which is us, would have an extremely blissful time of dominating our influence over Mother Russia. Well, Yuri Afonin, I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but Yuri Afonin has officially legitimized the Soviet Union. And we may as well merge all communist and socialist parties together, just because we don't want any anarchy, and the socialist and communist parties are the only ones which will exist. Enough of that democratic and fascist BS, but anyways, the hardline is leading 100%, and we're going to increase their influence by going down the left side, which is the only path which can go down, to ensure a great Soviet future for the people, army, and the motherland. We've also got to deal with the Supreme Soviet, which has got some decisions, some good, some bad, mainly good, like this one, where we can rename our cities, such as Leningrad and Stalingrad. Well, with the completion of this decision, we're going to unlock the new Soviet economy, which we've got to manage, and also deal with the oligarchs still. Continuing down the focus tree, we've got this decision to make. It will give us some political advisors, but we're going to get on the left one, because those political advisors are greater than the liberal ones. And these focuses just can't get any better than this. They keep giving us buffs after buffs. Pretty nice, I would do say so myself. Now, sorting out the system of the Soviet economy, we could follow in the footsteps of our Chinese neighbors down south. However, we're going to honor Lenin by going back to our old ways. And these two little micronations in between us and Ukraine have joined, and they are now communists and under our influence heavily. So that means it looks like that it's time for Soviet expansion. We can first annex our Belarusian neighbors via a singular focus, which is pretty nice, if I do say so myself. Anyways, that's not all. We're going to continue to venture down our focus tree full of conquests, unlocking these decisions to influence our neighbors, to hopefully rejoin with them into the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics. But we're also going to do some forceful invasions down to Central Asia. And after our expansion into Central Asia, well, also invade the Caucasus. Now it looks like that Kazakhstan and Kyrgyzstan have accepted integration, which is pretty nice on their behalf, a wise decision. However, other nations weren't so wise. Tajikistan, it looks like this is your last day on this planet. Now, surprisingly, basically all Central Asian nations decided to accept our demands, except for Tajikistan and Uzbekistan. Both nations were easy to defeat with the might of the Red Army. And just like that, Soviet military has conquered all of Central Asia. And now it's time to conquer all of the Caucasus as well. It looks like that Armenia has accepted our demands. However, Azerbaijan weren't so wise with the decisions. So, it's time to absolutely destroy Azerbaijan. Surprisingly, Georgia accepted our demands. Nice. The Red Army is proving themselves to be unstoppable. We have conquered Central Asia and the Caucasus with ease. But now it's time for our biggest invasion yet. We've got our little buffer zone in between us and Ukraine as a puppet now. But it looks like that Ukraine won't be lasting long. Hopefully that's if our forces are able to defeat them. Oh yeah, we've also acquired Transnistria, so that opens another front for the Ukrainians to deal with. Now at the start of the war, everything was running smoothly. It was basically green everywhere on the front lines. In Crimea, in Transnistria, and on the main front. Our motorized divisions blitzed through their puny defenses, capturing the capital, Kiev, with a matter of days. However, the tides would suddenly turn, for as a bigger force would join in on the Ukrainian side. It looks like that the EU have declared war on the Soviet Union. This isn't looking good for us. We've got to deal with basically all of Europe, except for Finland. Finland's just chill like that. Anyways, enough of those distractions. We had a massive front against most of Europe, including Turkey. But I wasn't really focused on Turkey, just put some divisions there to hold the front line. We blitzed through Southern Europe, or the Balkans. Romania and Hungary would soon crumble to the Soviet army. And also in Poland. Their campaign to try and conquer communism in Europe failed, and we united our front with Kaliningrad, encircling the Baltics entirely. And just like that, we are victors throughout that European war. We not only conquered the Baltics and Ukraine, but also acquired Eastern Poland, Hungary, and Romania as Soviet puppets. Well, since the victors of that European war, we've acquired a new focus tree, but we've also acquired some major debuffs for our economy and army. As you can see right here, they're not very pleasant. At least now the world knows that the Soviet Union has been restored, and they better watch out just in case the Red Army comes their way. Well, it looks like that NATO has been dissolved, and Europe is up for grabs. But with the defeat of NATO, things in former NATO countries aren't looking so well. As you can see in Spain and Portugal, the nations have crumbled into many little nations. But with the return of the Soviet Union, another nation returns. This isn't looking so well for the nations bordering Germany. Now I've been completing some focuses, which have basically gotten rid of our debuffs for our economy and army. And also, we've launched some coups in some Eastern European nations, Bulgaria and Slovakia, so that makes the Iron Curtain a bit more stronger. And we may as well puppet Slovakia and Bulgaria, just like Eastern Poland, Hungary and Romania. Well, I've got some good news and some bad news. We've completed our focuses, which have gotten rid of some debuffs, but Germany and fascism over Europe as a whole is rising. Oh yeah, the election results between the hardline communists and the sort of liberalists have arrived, and Yuri, oh that guy, I don't know how to pronounce his name, has won the elections, so we've unlocked some more focuses. But just as I completed my final focus tree, the Germans will declare war on Poland and the Czech Republic. Now, you may ask, what does it have to do with us? Well, they also declared war on Eastern Poland, my puppet, dragging us into the war against the Pack of Steel. The Pack of Steel look pretty strong. However, the pride of the Russian people in the Motherland will never surrender. It will not take one step back. So, let's see if the Red Army can prevail against evil across Europe once more. Now, instead of just capturing Poland and the Baltics and stuff like that, we had to conquer and defeat all lowland nations, Scandinavian, Greek, Germanic, Italian, basically all nations in the Pact of Steel, to get rid of this war and ensure that the Russian people, matter of fact, the globe, will have peace and prosperity. However, things will not go so bad after all. We captured Berlin with a matter of, I think, weeks, or maybe a month. I think weeks. But that just proves that the might of the Red Army is truly unstoppable against all evil in this accursed world. As we close down on the island of Sicily, That would mean that the Red Army has defeated the Pact of Steel, and Red Europe has been established. A total Soviet victory has been achieved. In 1991, the Soviet Union would be dissolved, getting humiliated, and Russia and the Motherland would be humiliated as a whole. As you can see, democracy didn't work, and oligarchies were basically the rulers of Russia. However, a mere 30 years, or a bit over, since the dissolution of the Soviet Union, the Soviet Union has come back. It's stronger. Our fraction stretches from Lisbon to the far eastern ports of Eastern Siberia. It is clear to say that the Soviet Union is the leaders of the modern world. We have defeated nations like Germany, Poland, all of the Balkans, Spain, Portugal, all of Scandinavia except for Finland, and Britain. That means the modern world will be living in a blissful utopia under socialism forevermore. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. However, I'm going to end the video on a quite personal note. The reason I've been delaying my video schedule uploads is not because I chose to be lazy, but because I'm dealing with stuff personally. I'm not going to get into too much detail, but what I will say is that I'll strive to produce more videos for you guys to enjoy and indulge in. So, once more, I thank you all for watching this video. Hope you guys take care, and bye.